Good morning. Thank you again for being here, Terry. Sure appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. All right, everybody, please go ahead and share your information via chat. We want you to get to know each other. On October 1st, we'll be having our monthly networking session, and that's live, so you get to meet people across the U.S. I'm very delighted to have Dr. Terry Neese here today. She's the founder and CEO of the Institute of Economic Empowerment of Women. We are in webinar format, and again, the intent of that, of course, is to be able to tape it so that people can watch it after the fact. Just briefly, Purse Power is working to help women use their massive purchasing power to drive positive change. We believe that if women who make 80% of all purchasing decisions would choose to buy from the companies that actively promote women, and we would do that in mass, and we could create a funding stream for battered women's shelters, we could shatter glass ceilings and change lives. So that's what Purse Power is all about. And these calls are to connect you with each other, connect you with national leaders. And of course, Terry is amazing, and her career has been spectacular. So I'm so delighted to have her here. If I've got any shareholders online, thank you for being here. Sure appreciate it. And we'll come to questions in just a few minutes. So thank you again. Okay, Dr. Terry Neese spent 30 years finding careers for men and women. She is the founder of Terry Neese Personnel Services. She also founded, as I understand it, National Grassroots Network, the Women Impacting Public Policy. How large is that organization now? I think it's huge.
I think we have around 600,000 members.
Holy smokes, good for you. And of course, the Institute for Economic Empowerment of Women. They operate the Peace Through Business program, which educates and empowers women entrepreneurs in Afghanistan and Rwanda.
You got the Rwanda right.
You got the Rwanda right. Okay, and the idea is to help them achieve their dream of financial independence, community involvement, and political activism. And of course, when all of this went on with Afghanistan, Terry was the first person I wanted to talk to about it and find out what was going on. She's a member of the U.S. Afghan Women's Council, past national president of the National Association of Women Business Owners, and she is a small business expert who's been recognized by Fortune magazine as one of the Power 30. And you're going to be going on to what, Newsweek? Is that what you said right after this call?
Yes, when I'm done here, I'm talking to Newsweek.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, so she's been on a bunch of media outlets. She's also an inductee into the National and Oklahoma Women's Hall of Fame. So thank you again, Terry.
Good to see you.
All right, good to see you too. So we always want to get to know you. So let's start with your backstory. Tell us how you arrived at this place in your life and career. You've been making a difference for women for decades. Tell us about your amazing career.
Well, first, let me just say that I grew up in Cotton County, Southwest Oklahoma. So I'm Oklahoma born and bred. I left Cotton County for the University of Oklahoma, started a staffing firm in Norman, and then left Norman and started Terry Neese Personnel Services in Oklahoma City. Kim purchased the building 20 years ago. And as you noted, I served for the National Association of Women Business Owners as their national president early on in my career, and really love NAWBO. They're a great organization. And when I sold the business to Kim, I was like, okay, what am I going to go do now? And I went ahead and put together a 501c3 nonprofit, not knowing exactly what I was going to do with it. And received a phone call from the White House asking me if I would travel to Afghanistan because there were women business owners that had been in business prior to the Taliban taking over in the early 2000s. And they felt like that it was a good time now, this was in 2006, for them to start other businesses. So I had an opportunity to sit down for several days with many of the women business owners who no longer had businesses. And they were asking, how could they get more education on ways to start businesses and what kind of businesses are needed to be started in Afghanistan, because everything had been turned upside down. Therefore, on the way back to Andrews Air Force Base, I knew that I needed curriculum to help these women. I immediately talked to several universities, and the first one that said, yes, we'll do it, was Northwood University, which is headquartered in Midland, Michigan.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And they've been with us for 15 years.
Huh.
So we immediately put our program together and started teaching in Afghanistan first in 2007. And in 2008, Rwanda came on board with us. And the rest is history, as they would say.
Very good. Very good. Well, I want to know more about IEEW. So what is the mission of your organization, and what are you doing in particular now that we've retreated from Afghanistan? How are you trying to help the women over there?
Well, the Institute for Economic Empowerment of Women, underneath the umbrella of IEW, is our Peace Through Business program. Mm. And what we are doing to help women in Afghanistan, and by the way, the Rwanda women want very much to help the Afghan women that they have met and then that they know. Mm. And they have suggested that the Afghan women come to Rwanda because it's so safe there. Huh. And I immediately thought that is a great idea. Mm. So we are, so we've been working in Afghanistan 15 years, 14 years in Rwanda, and educating and empowering women business owners. That is our true mission. We make sure that we provide business training, mentorship, leadership development, and opportunities for our women business owners in both countries. We have graduated 597 graduates in Afghanistan, and in Rwanda, we've graduated 382, and that's a total of, I want to say 1,000, but it's Congrats. 979 women have graduated from the program, and they have created 8,000 jobs for both of their countries. Amazing. Very proud of what they've done. Mm.
Very, very good. Wow. Okay, so tell us a little bit more too. I know you also connect them with women in the United States, I think, females here.
We do. We start our program in January every year. We have a 10-week course that's provided to us by Northwood University in terms of curriculum. Hmm. And what we try to do is select 30 to 35 women in the classroom in both countries. And we ask Oklahoma women business owners, and we ask women business owners all across the United States if they would be an e-mentor while they are in the classroom. Mm-hmm. And work with them on their business plan specifically. That's really so important. And their accounting and their marketing and all the things, as you know, as a small business that are critical to success for your small business. Therefore, we have around 70 women business owners all across the United States that are being e-mentors to these women that are in the classroom. And they get each other's emails and they are talking back and forth all the time. At the end of March, they graduate from this program, from the 10-week program. And there is a graduation that's always held. And if the top 15 that are selected to come to the United States get to come to the United States, we make sure that they are matched with a mentor that they can live with for 4 to 5 days to understand how their mentor and their business works in the United States compared to Afghanistan or Rwanda. And our mentors say to us, I learn more from them than they could ever learn from me.
Wow. Wow. If people have an interest in helping with this, is there some way that they can apply to be mentors?
Yes, online on our website, IEEW.org. There's a form that the e-mentors and mentors fill out. We call all of them, we talk with them. Most of them have been with us for so many years that they all still want to continue to do it. They have fun doing it, and they feel like they're really giving to someone who really needs the opportunity to see what another business in America looks like compared to theirs.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I'm really interested in hearing how everything going on in Afghanistan is affecting those female business owners. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it's difficult. There are some things I can't tell you. I would not talk about people's names, obviously. I will tell you that when Kabul fell in August, on August 15th, we were really taken back from that. And I think everybody was. We just did not know it was going to happen. And it happened so quickly. And in fact, it was so terrifying. We would have around 40 to 50 of our women business owners that would walk to the airport to try to get a flight. And they had to walk, where there was a perimeter around the airport. And they walked around that perimeter and the Taliban started shooting at them, shooting guns in the air and throwing tear gas. And they were so frightened that all they could do is turn around and go back home. And they did that every day for about 5 days. And then they finally gave up.
Oh, wow.
We have been able to get a few women out, and it's just a few. It's very difficult. You either have to leave Kabul and go to maybe Pakistan or India or to Kazakhstan if you can, and if you can get a visa to leave. And if you get to one of those countries, you can only be there for so many days.
Oh, right.
So where are you going to go stay? Are you going to, do you have money for a hotel? So we've been, we help with visas. We can help with visas. We can help some with being in a hotel some. We have raised a little bit of money to be helpful to these women, and they certainly need it.
So I know you were in Washington for a number of years, so you know a lot of how it's all working over there. I mean, any insights that we might not get from the news about what you see them doing or not doing?
I think that, we've been working with the State Department, and we put all of our women in a database. That took almost a whole week to get their passports, to talk to each one of them and get their passports and all of that together. So the State Department's been working on that. I will say, in my opinion, that the congressional delegation has been the best people to work with, because they're very helpful in terms of who can get what kind of visa and how do we handle this. Most of that has been from Senator Langford's office and Senator Inhofe's office, and kudos to them. They have worked really, really hard with us, and we really appreciate them very much.
Very good. So we're getting some questions. Let's go ahead and do them now. So how much does it cost? This is Shannon. How much does it cost to help women with visas?
Visas went from, hi Shannon, visas went from $100 to $700.
Wow.
Therefore, that became a huge issue for them because they didn't have that money. And there are no Taliban banks right now. Right. Afghanistan's gone. Flag is gone. Everything's gone. You can send $200 to Western Union. So what we're doing is bringing in money, holding it, waiting to see who wants to go to what country and getting money to them so they can get a visa. Very good. Is the money actually making it to them? That's the other thing I was wondering when you talked about that. Is so far so good, but you can only do $200 and you have to wait a week to do another $200. And that's what, and the only place to send money is Western Union.
Got it. Got it. So Shannon also was asking, is there anything that women business owners could do to help? And then she's asking about the Taliban banks being gone. Are the Afghan banks gone?
Afghan banks are gone. There's no banking right now.
Wow.
In the country, there's no banking. I'm sure there's probably some banking out there that I don't know about and that's going on, but I am not aware of it. And by the way, I need to say right now, the most important person to us is Manisha Wafik, who was in my very first class in 2007. She has been our in-country facilitator and leader for 14 years, 15 years if you count her first year with us. She knows everything that's going on the ground, and she's very connected to all of our women and everybody that we have graduated. Let me go back to Shannon's question. What was the question?
Okay, so she's got two. Anything that we as women business owners can do to help was one. And then she was asking about the difference between the Taliban banks versus Afghan banks. And
yeah,
there's no banking.
Yeah, let me talk about women business owners. Let's see, it has been 41 days since Kabul fell. Women business owners should have they can do it now, but they all need to come together to help and protect freedom for women business owners in Afghanistan. And how do we do that? We do that by talking to, obviously, congressionals and how important it is. And they know that, but it's important to talk to your two United States senators. And it's important to step up to the plate and donate money, because at some point, Western Union will not be the only place that we can get money over there. We're trying to figure out what's the next place that we can send money, so that if somebody wants to go to India or Pakistan or Turkey or somewhere like that, they can get a visa. If they don't have the money to get a visa, we will get the money to them.
Okay. So I know that Shannon had also told me that you really got to watch where the money's going so that the Taliban doesn't get the money. So what is the process that you want women to use to try to get money over there? So I hear Western Union.
I think that's the only way. I mean, right now, and to my knowledge, if it changed overnight, it could have been, but right now, there are no banking options in Afghanistan. There are no Afghan banks, and the Taliban has not gotten into the banking industry right yet. So Western Union was the only way that people could send money over. I will tell you that a woman who is a sponsor of ours for 15 years, she has been trying to help two of her mentees from ever since August the 15th when Kabul fell. She has sent money to Western Union, and the money did arrive in the hands of both of the women who needed the money to try to get out and get a visa.
Okay, so help us with the process. Are you acting as an intermediary where they can give you the donations and you can make sure that they get to the right people? No.
No. Now we probably will, whoever gives us money for visas, for example, if somebody sends in $1,000 and says, I want this to go to visas, then we're going to do that. We're going to do whatever people want us to do. Okay. I think that is really critical for everyone to know that as a 501c3, we have to be very locked in to being honest and getting things done in a very professional way.
Yes.
We can send money, IEEW can send money to Western Union. And we did have a lady that sent money and it worked for her. but I think you have to be careful. And she also said the same thing. I felt like I needed to do it myself, but I will do the next money to you because I just feel like it's better for you to do it than it is for me out here in the wide open sending it, if I'm making sense.
Sure, sure. And see, I think the thing is that you know who we should, like, if we don't know any women in Afghanistan, you're the one who knows who we need to send the money to. And that's all. So if I want to help, I don't know how to give the woman the money through Western Union because I don't know who they are.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah. And if it comes through us, we'll get it through to Western Union. Manesia directs us in everything pretty much that we do on the ground in Afghanistan. And by the way, Manesia did get out.
Oh, good.
She doesn't care whether I use her name. Her name is Manesia Wafik, and she is our leader. And she got out about 2 weeks before Kabul fell.
Oh,
I think she left July 29th.
Holy smokes. Well, Jane Beckendorf is asking, how do we get money to IEEW?
Website.
Okay.
IEEW.org. And right at the top right-hand corner is donate. And all you have to do is push that button, and you can fill out your information and what you want to give and how you want to give it, whether it's on a credit card or whatever. We'd be very grateful.
Good, good, good. Is there a way to make notes that what they want to have the money used for?
I think there is, and if there's not, put it on there anyway.
Okay. Okay. Good. Very, very good. All right. Fantastic. So are these women in Afghanistan going to be able to continue operating their businesses in their homes, or what's happening with that?
We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, many of them likely will not be able to continue operating their businesses from home.
Mm-hmm.
And they might need to shift to a different kind of business.
Mm-hmm.
Their lives are really, really difficult. They are hoping that we can get a online sales program going, so that they could sell their clothes, their jewelry, and dried fruits. Mm-hmm. That's three things that are really critical in Afghanistan. And those are three things that we believe we can get an online sales approach to this through the United States. And we're talking to several people who are going to help us with this.
Wow. Well, then that also accounts on the internet too. I mean, I don't know how long the internet's going to be up.
Well, that's the issue. That was what I was just getting ready to say. As long as there is internet, they can have an online sales platform. Mm-hmm. If they take the internet down, then, that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like, by the way, it's like, Donna, it's like someone coming to your business. There's 2 or 3 males that are knocking on your business door, and they're saying, we're taking your business away from you. You need to leave. Everything that is in this building, including your laptops, your furniture, everything. This has happened, by the way. I'm not saying who it happened to. It's happened to many of these women. Mm-hmm. And they had to walk out and leave their business and their building that they owned and go home.
Holy smokes.
How do you think that would work for us in the United States of America? Are we lucky or what?
Yes. God almighty. Wow. I even appreciate more the work that you're trying to do for them. So some of the images that we're seeing on TV of women going to college, for example, with a curtain between the sides, the males and females, is that all window dressing? Is that a charm offensive, or is that really going on?
That is really happening.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that's really happening.
Okay. Right.
And it's happening in school. You have boys over on this side and you have girls over on this side. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's a wall or there's a curtain in between.
Mm-hmm. And how long are girls able to go to school? Do you know?
I had heard 6 weeks. I'm not sure that that's, I won't swear by that, but I have heard 6 weeks.
Uh-huh. And I'd also heard that they can only go to a certain grade level. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
God almighty. All right. Is there anything else that you want to say about the meaningful things that we could do to help them? Anything else? Right, Taurus? Go ahead.
Well, a couple of things. Let me just say that it would be really interesting if we all put together, if there's some way to get a lot of our women business owners together and really form a solid group that could be really, really helpful to them mentally and educationally. So that's one thing. And I think it's very important for people to think about being an e-mentor to the women who will actually be starting their classes in January of 2022. Those e-mentors are really important.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your program? So what exactly are you teaching them?
Marketing, social media, financial statements. They also, some of the curriculum is focused around technology and how you handle your laptop, and teaching them actually how to run their laptop and how to keep that going. In addition, we teach the importance of having WhatsApp on your phone. I mean, all of them have a phone. WhatsApp, Signal, your text messages, emails. We get emails and text messages from the women almost every day. Probably, I'm going to say 30 to 40 emails and text messages from women every single day during the 8:30 to 4:30 a.m. timeline. When I get home, I'm getting text messages and emails all night long.
Wow. Is it all advice, asking for advice or help or support, or I mean, it could be everything.
Yeah, help, support. Some of them will tell us where they want to go if they can get out. There was an effort at one point for a group of people to take a bus to Mazar, and there was supposedly a flight that was going to take them out of Mazar to Pakistan, and a bunch of them loaded up in a little bus, and they got to Mazar, and there was no airplane.
Wow. Wonder what happened.
You know, you just don't know.
Right.
One thing I definitely want to make sure that I talk about is November 1st. We are having a fundraiser at Cole Community Center at 6 p.m. and Manisha will be in Oklahoma City. And Manisha is cooking the meal.
Oh,
and
wow.
We're expecting a couple of hundred people. It's an Afghan meal that she's doing. She'll obviously have help. $50 a plate. And she's got people here in Oklahoma City that's going to help her cook all of that. But it's going to be great. We're going to have a number of people there to talk about what's going to happen in our leadership development. And you're going to be part of that. You know that we are going to do a, quote, Shark Tank project, only we're not calling it that. AT&T and the Boone Pickens Foundation a few years ago suggested that we put together a loan program. And that just didn't work over the years. And so I got back together with AT&T leadership and Boone Pickens leadership and said, why don't we have 20 women who would like to come before judges and talk about how they could regenerate their business, or those in Rwanda who want to scale their businesses. So we're giving, you're going to be one of those judges, Donna, and we'll select 3 people from Afghanistan and 3 people from Rwanda. And they will receive, the first person, the top person will receive $5,000. The second will receive $3,000. And the third will be $1,500.
Very nice. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun.
I think it will be.
All right. It's interesting because that brings up the Afghan refugees that are coming to the United States. And I know that we're going to get a lot here in Oklahoma City. We've got people across the nation that watch the program. Can you give us any insight about that, about the refugee resettlement efforts, and anything we should be prepared for, or what you'd like us to do to support them as they come?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked with other local NGOs in Oklahoma City to learn about what the resettlement needs are, and how we might be able to be involved in some of that. And I know Shannon has been involved already. We had some groups, I think it's 1 family or 2 family, I'm not sure, that landed yesterday. And within the next week or 2, I think we'll have close to 1,000 Afghans, and Shannon probably knows more about this than I do. But I know that 1,000 are designated for Oklahoma City, and then 800 in Tulsa. And I think we can all be helpful. They need, they're devastated. They've lost their home. They've lost their life. I mean, I know how that feels. They've lost their life. They've lost their home. They're scared for their children. And since here's something we're thinking, since our mission is to educate and empower women. And so we're thinking about how we might be able to expand and impact Afghans that come from Afghanistan in the resettlement procedure. And do they have businesses that they would want to reopen here in Oklahoma?
Oh, good. And facilitate that happening.
And we could help facilitate that happening. And that's another reason why we need to raise money, would be to educate these women on how their businesses should flow in Oklahoma, and could really scale their businesses and help them with that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Also, Shannon is recommending CAIR and Catholic Charities apparently are spearheading the efforts here. And Shannon also has a vetted list of charities on her website. Go ahead and put your website up, Shannon, if you would. She's trying to help make sure that the money too goes to the right places and not to the wrong places.
Right.
So
Yeah.
And I probably could bring her on here too, but okay. So I want to give people a chance to ask questions. I'm going to ask you one more, and then we'll ask anything else they want to have asked. So you were the former president of NAWBO. And I know that NAWBO's involved too somehow in trying to help here. What are they doing? What kind of activities do they have ongoing?
They called me, which was really great. I was president in 1990, and has just really done a lot of work with NAWBO. And so they have completed an article that's online and in their printed magazine of what we've been doing over the last 41 days. And in addition, I'm doing a video that they're going to put online to just talk about what we're doing, and also to ask for funds. And that's not real normal for, NAWBO's a 501c3 as well. And they raise money too. But God bless them for stepping up and saying, hey, I want to help you, Terry, and I want to help these women in Afghanistan. And that's what it's all about, is helping the women in Afghanistan. And they're all women business owners. NAWBO is all women business owners.
It's fantastic. Well, it's interesting because when I put some stuff up about you and about Afghanistan, I put Shannon's stuff up. I got some pushback from people around the world talking about the money actually ending up with the women or with the intended recipient. Does that make sense? There's a lot of charities that the money may or may not make it to the right people. And my comment back was, I know it will with you. I know it will.
Yeah. Well, just think about this.
Mm-hmm.
We worked 15 years in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
We've had no issues.
Yeah.
And we've been working in Rwanda for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
No issues. We have the greatest sponsors in the world that have worked with us. No issues.
Yeah.
So we are a trusted 501c3 nonprofit, and we will go the extra mile to make sure we stay that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've known people for years that have talked about what you're doing, and I've seen you in action. Okay, guys, it's your turn to ask any questions you might have. Let's see here. Let's see if we've got anything else coming up. Okay. And Shannon's saying that you're on her list of vetted resources.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. If you don't mind, I might go ahead and get her on here too to see if there's anything that she wants to add. We'll go ahead and get her face up here. Is that all right? I think I can have her. Okay, here we go. Shannon, surprise, surprise. Let's see if I can get you on here. Maybe I can't. Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? I can see that Lou Kerr's on here too. Oh, there we go. Okay. Shannon, I just wanted to give you a chance if you'd like to make any comments that you'd like around the work that you're doing as well.
Well, I fully support Terry. I think I've actually served as a mentor, and I think it's an excellent program. So highly, I appreciate Terry's endurance over several administrations, and I think that demonstrates that we can make a difference on a bipartisan level to really reach out for humanitarian efforts. And I love that we're helping other women. The resettlement is going quite well. I will hats off to CARE. That's the Council of American Islamic Relations. And gosh, just an incredible number of donations. And there is a list on CARE's website, or you can go on their Facebook page. We get so many donations that it's like, well, I need a size 4 toddler boys jeans. Well, then we get all. So they do need some clothing racks if anybody happens to have those on hand. Then, of course, Catholic Charities, which I know is just super busy at the moment, but they are doing an incredible job. Sometimes we don't get but a few minutes notice that we're expecting these families. And I just want to remind people, because of some of the feedback that I've seen posted, let's remember that many of these refugees are our friends. They helped us. They helped our soldiers in Afghanistan. And I think it's the most honorable thing we can do is to provide resources and shelter and welcome them to Oklahoma. So thank you for letting me say that. I didn't mean to monopolize your program on it.
No, I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for doing that, Shannon. I sure appreciate it. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any more questions you want to ask Terry? And if not, we'll go ahead and close up here. Okay. So I think we've gotten a lot out here. Normally, we'd like to ask you, Terry, to share kind of the most important learnings. You have had a heck of a career. You've done an awful lot. You've impacted women's lives all over the world. And I would like to hear from you. What are your key learnings that you want to share with our audience?
I think the most important thing for me in working around the world is that we are all very similar, but we're all unique and different. And each one of us is someone that I think we all need to love and cherish and hopefully be involved in whatever they're doing. Many times I'm talking to other nonprofits that are not exactly like mine. I think what's the difference with my nonprofit is I'm focused on women. I love men. Don't get me wrong. I love men.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful husband, and in fact, tomorrow will be his 9th year that he will be gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I think it's important that as a nonprofit, we stay pure, clean, and very, very helpful to our mission. Mm-hmm. And stick with the mission. I've had a number of people say, well, why don't you go do this? That's not our mission. Our mission is to educate and empower women business owners. That's our mission. And that's the way it will stay as long as I'm around.
Mm-hmm. Right there with you. Right there with you. Okay. What are the top 3 actions you want us to take?
Think about being an e-mentor or a mentor in person. That's number 1. Second, obviously, I have to throw this in, donate. You can go to our website. It's really easy. IEEW.org, the right-hand column up at the top, you can click on donate and give money. And second is come to our event on November 1st. At the Cole Community Center. And I'll add to that the importance of looking at our website periodically and seeing if there's other things that are going on that we don't have out on paper, but it's on our website. Mm-hmm. And look at who we're helping. We're getting ready, we think, to take on another country, and that might be a good possibility by the 1st of the year.
Can you talk about which one or no?
I'm hoping it's Morocco.
Very good. Now, why Morocco?
Well, Mary Jane Calvi and I went there for Rotary about 3 years ago to sanction a large water well in Mohammed, which is down by the Sahara Desert in Morocco. And we learned so much about the country, loved the country, and they had a lot of women's co-ops. Of course, that's mostly clothes, jewelry, those kinds of things. And we talked to a lot of them, and they asked if we would come and educate them and help them to really scale their business. They didn't say scale their business, but make our businesses bigger. And so I actually had an opportunity to speak with some of the top government leaders in Morocco, and they were really quite taken by what we have done in Afghanistan and Rwanda. And if that should work, I think Morocco would be a great place for our next country.
All right. Okay, perfect. Oh, Jane is also asking, can we donate only monthly? Apparently she's looking at your website, and she's asking, is that correct? Can they just donate a specific amount or donate on a monthly basis?
You can donate anytime you want to.
Okay, anytime you want to, any way you want to, probably.
And whether it's monthly or weekly or whatever.
Okay. All right, very good. Any final words from you?
Prayer. Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for these women who have lost their businesses. Pray for the fact that there are men who come to their houses at night and they shoot their guns off. And actually, one of the women videoed the front door, the back of their front door, and I could hear the bullets going off. So pray for, and then so then here, what they want is they want you to open your front door so they can come in and look at your entire house.
Oh, wow.
They want to know who's in there. And if you don't open the door, you're in trouble.
Ah.
So the biggest thing we can do is pray for their safety and pray that we are able to help them with their living, their costs, their food, the ability for them to work at home if there's some way to do that. Some of them have businesses that are, some of them have business. There's one person that owns a gym. And all of her equipment was taken. And her business has been shut down. So she no longer has a business. All of these people need prayers.
Wow. Wow. I'm grateful for you and your insight about what's really going on over there. We just see what's on the news, but thank you for sharing all that. And I appreciate you being here so much.
It's good to see you. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, of course. All right, everybody. I just want to remind you that on October 1st, we are going to have our networking session. I am looking at having Marie Clark. She's a vice president of global programs at Women for Women on October 15th. And then I'm very excited to announce that Gretchen Carlson is going to be joining us on October 22nd. And she's driving an initiative to try to get corporations to quit doing NDAs that protect sexual predators, basically, in the work environment. I just want to let everybody know, obviously, we do this at no cost, but we've got to generate funds too for the business. And there's a group called, they're marketing professionals, and they've got a program called Launch Academy Live. We've been partnering with them, and they helped us take our Facebook followers from 950 to 11,500 in 14 days. So they really, really know what they're doing. We're partnering with them to communicate about this Launchpad Live. I'm just going to go ahead and put the link up. If you have an interest in joining, it's just $97 to participate. It lasts 3 days. And she is incredible. She took her business from getting ready to hawk her engagement ring to about a $6 million a year business in a year, doing some things very, very differently around marketing. And she can help you if you're a consultant or kind of any kind of business you've got to really look at how you're structuring your business, how you're making money, and get a lot more effective at it. So if you're interested, I think it's a very good resource at a really reasonable price. Let's see here. So I know it's hard to get attention today, these days. We're trying to help you. Please download our Google Chrome extension and find women-owned and women-led businesses to buy from. Please like and share our social media pages. Please tell people about these Friday events that we do every Friday at 10 Central. And again, the networking event is next Friday. The more people we have, the better off we are for everyone. So I hope you will join us and bring a friend. Any final words from you, Terry?
Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. Just know that I think the prayers are the most important thing. Obviously, we need money, but prayers are more important.
Okay. Thank you again for being here. And everybody, please remember, purse power, we have it. Let's use it. See you next Friday.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
Donna.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.